The Buddha taught, "Be your own lamp. Do not wait for someone else to light it for you." For countless millennia, we have often observed and criticized the faults of others, yet the root cause of all wrongdoing lies in ourselves. Likewise, only we ourselves can open the door to liberation. Suppose someone wants to get across a river. What should they do? I think it might be like this. If the river is shallow, they can wade across. If the water is too deep, they can take a boat or swim across. If they do not want to wade, do not want to swim, and do not want to row, what then? The only remaining option would be to pray to the gods. But in doing so, would the other bank appear right under their feet? Such a person we call a foolish one, utterly foolish. In the same way, if a person uses wisdom to subdue desire and ignorance, how can they fail to find truth and the path of liberation? If they only engage in prayers or offerings, they will forever stand still, never leaving the starting line. The earth is our foundation. The wide sky is the open space where our bodies dwell. What is called the supreme truth? It can only be realized through one's own experiences, truly understanding oneself, perceiving that within, one has neither thought nor desire, but maintains equilibrium. Having grasped that, one will no longer perceive the existence of all phenomena with distinctions such as changing seasons or the falling leaves. Can we also sense that? Certainly, wisdom is present everywhere, in the sun, the moon, the stars, and the Milky Way. Every person can possess this supreme truth. Because of ignorance, there is suffering, confusion, anxiety, greed, anger, arrogance, false imaginings, jealousy, and fear. Illusion stands in contrast to ignorance. Illusion has two opposing aspects. Uphold the principle of the middle way, leaning neither this way nor that, neither starving nor indulging the body in sensual desires. Focus steadily on the middle way. If you realize that all evils are mere illusions, all vexations will naturally dissipate, and you will immediately feel love and compassion. Reaching enlightenment like what I have attained today means having gone through extremely difficult trials. Desire, anger, illusion, greed, hunger all appeared before my eyes, yet my heart remained steadfast, unshaken. I once vowed to attain the supreme truth, even at the cost of my own life. Ultimately, I realized that ultimate truth. Please teach me, Lord, the path to attain wholesome qualities. Everything in this world merges into one entity, as though connected by an invisible thread we cannot see. If you zealously do good deeds, like waves rushing toward the shore, over time, your wholesome karma will follow you from this life to the next, until the day of enlightenment. Conversely, if you commit wrongdoing, over many lifetimes, you will suffer the painful consequences. Thus, all these become causes for downfall. If you focus your mindfulness on each present moment, maintaining stillness and composure, you will find the middle way within yourself, neither sorrowful nor elated, going beyond the entangling flow of karma, and finally attain the supreme truth. When meditating, if a wandering thought arises, wisdom can help us distinguish truth from phenomenon and differentiate self from other. Yet that very differentiation can lead life astray. People are often bound by emotions, and it is greed that keeps them distant from the truth in the cycle of birth and death. From birth to death, we experience fear, illness, and mortality. Those experiences only enhance ignorance and fear. Therefore, we must eliminate all delusions. Once you step away from illusions, life becomes free, released from confinement, pure, steady, and peaceful. The Four Noble Truths are four noble realities. The first truth: no one can avoid suffering. Suffering follows us like a shadow. The second truth: the cause of suffering is ignorance, greed, anger, sorrow, worry, fear, and despair, all rooted in ego clinging. The third truth: the end of suffering arises from wisdom, understanding one's own nature and life itself, thereby ending suffering and bringing forth tranquility. The fourth truth: the path that leads to the cessation of suffering is the Noble Eightfold Path, nurtured by mindfulness and awareness, culminating in concentration and insight to free us from all suffering. What is that path? It is the 8 right paths: seeing things as they truly are, thinking as they truly are, reflecting truthfully, speaking truthfully, acting truthfully, earning a right livelihood, making right efforts, and establishing right mindfulness. These factors guide our conduct. We ourselves embody the Dharma, like a spider slowly spinning a splendid web. The natural world creates all things with boundless beauty. Whenever our mind yearns for something, we presume that obtaining it will bring us happiness. Yet once our dream comes true, we feel emptiness. Do you know why? Because as soon as a desire is fulfilled, like long-awaited wishes now realized, there is no longer the driving force of longing, so the thrill slips away like water through one's fingers. Indeed, life is uncertain, isn't it? Exactly. Forget the illusory worldly desires, forget the matter of life and death. Neither brings any true benefit. Even if you fear the disappearance of your life, first deny the existence of that life, then search for the hidden self within you. Countless people in this world endure suffering due to material lack, living in poverty, short on food and clothes, subject to injustice. Many suffer in spirit. When you feel like throwing yourself off a cliff, why not notice the beautiful scenery before you? Any excess, even too much joy, ends in suffering. Hence, we must uphold the middle way. Then we will see things as they are and attain infinite serenity. If a person clings to a particular principle, they will end up losing their spiritual freedom, becoming rigid and inflexible. Moreover, blindly adhering to prejudice, believing only one's faith is the absolute truth and rejecting all else, destroys freedom of thought. The mind becomes overtaken by dogma, causing conflict and blind belief. In fact, having no faith at all can be an even stronger form of bondage. Thought is an immensely powerful energy that can completely dominate you. A stubborn mindset is the greatest hindrance to the path of cultivation. Once you are entangled in it, the door to truth can never be opened. If everyone follows your teachings, will they still be bound? All that I preach stems from my own realization. My path is not dogma, nor scripture or philosophy, but a pure, direct experience that is also the impermanent truth, yet eternal. Should someone treat my path as a fixed creed, know that my path is for practice, not for dependency, worship, or blind faith. All my knowledge is like a raft. It can be used to cross the river. But after crossing, must you continue to carry it on your head? I still sense a reluctance to bow my head. Emotions are divided into three types: joy, happiness, and sadness, and a neutral state. These three feelings are ever present in our body and mind, flaring up like flames and then returning to calm. First, examine the intensity of these emotions, understand them thoroughly, and see from where they arise. Whether it is joy or sorrow, find its origin. Once you locate that source, you will realize that everything is empty of emptiness, like the vast blue sky. Though it appears void, it encompasses every form, like a great canvas of the mind. With continued practice, you will realize the fires that once raged have subsided, and an incomparable serenity emerges deep within, unshaken. By investigating within, you will see the error. The hardest, firmest barrier is also the softest and easiest to crumble. Ignorance is the root of all afflictions. My clear insight is due to meditation, which dispels ignorance. Apart from meditation, ritual offerings, extreme asceticism, fasting, or sacrifices cannot bring liberation. I leave not for victory but for loss of anger, greed, envy, hatred, jealousy. Once nothing remains, one attains the shore of serenity. Arguments stir anger, causing people to halt before truth. Anger is like a flame in the heart. You want to hurl that flame at someone else, but before you can throw it, your own hand is already burned. Ensnared by desire, envy, anger, ignorance, and greed, we must help people escape these traps. These flames are destroying their lives, causing immeasurable harm. Blessed world-honored one, please show me a way out. Do not cling to the past, do not dream of the future. Abide in the present moment. You will free yourself from suffering you thought you could not endure. Birth and death are inevitable for humans. Reflect deeply on this and remain mindful. Do not sink into desire. Live a life of peace, happiness, and fulfillment that is the truth, the true meaning of life. That truth is neither born nor destroyed, neither begins nor ends, neither decreases nor increases. It simply remains serene and tranquil. Remember this well. Doubt in your mind is a grave illness. It divides people, acting like a poison that kills friendship or a thorn that pierces the bone. Never forget that your thoughts shape who you are. I only point out the path. The practice must rely on each individual. The most fearsome enemy of humankind is themselves. What we do flows from what we think. Good thoughts lead to good actions. Evil thoughts lead to harmful deeds. That is the law of nature. I have found the path to liberation. Now the door of blessings is open. This is everyone's treasure. I want to awaken those who are still lost in darkness, to arouse their thinking. Ignorance creates suffering, confusion, worry, greed, anger, arrogance, delusions, jealousy, and fear. Illusion contrasts with ignorance. Uphold the middle way, leaning neither this way nor that. Do not let your body starve, nor be overcome by lust. Be diligent in the middle way. Recognize that all evil is but illusion, and all afflictions will naturally fade, and you will sense love and compassion. When the door of wisdom opens, what remains is only compassion. While meditating, if the mind gives rise to wandering thoughts, wisdom helps us discern truth from phenomena, distinguishing self from others. But that very discrimination can lead life astray. Humans are often bound by emotions, and greed is what distances them from the truth. In the cycle of rebirth, from birth to death, we grapple with fear, illness, and dying, which only deepen our ignorance and fears. Hence, we must uproot all delusions. Stepping beyond delusion, life becomes truly free beyond restraints, pure, composed, and peaceful. Your life belongs to your mother and father. They gave birth to you and raised you. You owe them immeasurable gratitude. Your life is not only yours, it also belongs to them. Each morning, when you open your eyes to the dawn of a new day, be fully aware of what you must do. This is most important. People often forget to say thank you. Remember in your heart all those to whom you owe gratitude, like the trees, flowers, wind, water. These are not ours, so be grateful for them all. When you hold gratitude, you will harvest more blessings. Not everything is pointless. If it were all meaningless, we would fall ill, and if we fell ill, death would not be far off. Gratitude is like a marvelous flower blooming in this world. We are born on this great earth, and all sensations carry suffering in this world of rebirth, filled with grief. The world is not a place for suffering to remain, but rather a home for the enlightened who must be awakened. It is ignorance that causes sorrow and anxiety, delusion, anger, greed, arrogance, conceit, and jealousy. Illusion leads people astray. Though life and death have no real difference, we often mistake one for the other, creating obstacles. Once all obstacles are removed, life becomes utterly independent without reliance, without entanglement. Morality, precepts, concentration, and wisdom, along with the 8 right paths, can shatter all mistaken perceptions. I repeat, these are right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. A sleepless night is long for the sleepless. A path is long for the weary traveler. For one who lives in ignorance without understanding the true dharma, their entire life is only suffering. No matter what kind of knowledge you acquire, whether from self-study, hearing a teacher's sermon, or even my own words, do not believe it right away. Use your learning and wisdom to reflect, analyze, and verify it. Within that which perishes, see what is imperishable. In sadness, see joy. In brutality, feel the humanity. In evil, find the good. Ignorance has clouded human vision. If you break through that veil of illusion, all sorrow and worry will vanish, and compassion and forgiveness will begin to awaken. The feelings of all beings are the same. Unless one is enlightened, one cannot see the wonder of enlightenment. But if one yearns for enlightenment, one will become a Buddha. Dear monks, this is my final admonition. Light your own lamp, be a lamp unto yourselves. Remain mindful, practice the true Dharma, concentrate on your inner being. Return to yourself. Do not rely on others, for all is supreme. Abide steadily amid all changes, remain diligent, and never give up. The supreme truth does not dwell somewhere in the sky, it resides in each person's mind. Toward your children, you must love and protect them. Toward the elderly, love them and care for them with all your heart. We must be sympathetic to those who strive diligently. To the weak, even when they err, we should act magnanimously. Remember that opportunities for this abound everywhere in life. Blessed Buddha, sometimes we do things that are contrary to the Dharma. If you feel remorse when committing a wrongful act, then keep rectifying your actions. Our thoughts shape who we are. If your thinking is unwholesome, your actions will bring suffering, like a wheel rolling after the ox's footsteps. Always think of goodness so that your deeds become virtuous karma, and happiness will always be with you. Then, when we face life's upheavals, please guide us, Lord. In short, there are only 3 matters of greatest importance. Do we love wholeheartedly? Do we live fully? And can we let go of everything? We exist precisely to seek life's meaning. When we sacrifice ourselves, offering our entire heart and spirit, that is when we see the true essence of life. Life and death follow us like shadows. They assemble and then disperse. All phenomena are impermanent, so do not become attached. Life and death, sunset and sunrise, all must be transcended. Today, I have witnessed how each drop of water contributes to the vast ocean. There are 3 truths anyone can practice: a spacious heart, gentle speech, and using compassion to serve. These 3 maxims form a foundation of trust that fosters affection and goodwill among sentient beings. Whether poor or rich, all human lives contain suffering. The difference lies only in the nature of each person's suffering. In married life, equality is paramount. A family where husband and wife love each other and live in harmony will thrive, radiating such energy that everyone feels happiness. The union of husband and wife should surpass mere physical or material desire. The wife is part of the husband, and the husband should afford his wife respect and dignity, never humiliating her before others. The wife, for her part, should not act against the standards of womanhood, and the husband must live up to his own role, steering clear of bad habits. In every decision he makes, the husband should consider his wife's wishes. The wife, meanwhile, should regard the family as her own home, a haven of love, caring for every member. Let husband and wife respect each other like esteemed guests and keep company with good people. Those who lack mindfulness can cause children to become lazy. When the circumstances for practice arise, the mind becomes pure and free from defilements. One's occupation, too, must align with the Dharma, whether trade or daily work. First understand it thoroughly, then devote yourself to fulfilling it. For example, cooking or baking should not be dismissed as mundane labor, but seen as an opportunity to care for oneself, for one's spouse, and for one's children. Whenever you encounter favorable conditions, do not selfishly live for yourself. Share your happiness, success, and wealth. Avoid gambling and alcohol. As human beings, be humble, courteous, and amicable. If possible, make offerings to the monks or engage in meditation to dispel worry and adversity, allowing the mind to feel the utmost tranquility. Remember, every morning when you open your eyes to the sunrise of a new day, remain aware of your life's purpose that is crucial. People often forget gratitude. Keep in your heart those you are indebted to, like the trees, flowers, wind, water, and air, which do not belong to us. Be grateful for all. Gratitude helps us gain many blessings. If everything were meaningless, we would fall ill. Once ill, death would be near. Gratitude is like a lovely flower blossoming in life. We are born on this great earth, and all feelings carry suffering in this cyclic existence, filled with sorrows. The world is not a resting place for suffering, but a dwelling for the awakened. Yet to awaken, we must be mindful that ignorance begets suffering, grief, illusions, anger, greed, pride, and jealousy. Illusion misleads humans onto bad paths. Though life and death do not truly differ, we often misperceive them and create hindrances. Once these hindrances are dissolved, our entire life stands independent, unreliant, unfettered. Morality, concentration, and wisdom, along with the Noble Eightfold Path, can dispel all false perceptions. Again, those are right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. No matter what knowledge you acquire through reading, listening to teachings, or even hearing my words, do not hastily believe it. Use your learning and discernment to contemplate, analyze, and verify. From within what ceases, see what does not cease. Within suffering, find joy. Within cruelty, discover compassion. Within evil, find goodness. Ignorance shrouds human eyes. If you dispel that veil of illusion, all suffering and worry naturally fade, and compassion and forgiveness will awaken. The emotional nature of living beings is the same for all. If one is not enlightened, one cannot realize how wondrous enlightenment is. Yet if we yearn for enlightenment, we can become Buddhas. Dear monks, light your own lamp. Let that lamp be your guiding light. Remain awake and practice the true Dharma. Concentrate on your inner being. Return to yourself and rely on no one else, for all is supreme. Abide firmly amid all change, always diligent, never giving up. The supreme truth is not found in empty space, but within each person's mind. Toward your children, be loving and protective. Toward the elderly, be loving and caring. We should empathize with those who strive. To those who are weak or in error, we should be merciful. Such opportunities are everywhere in life. Blessed Buddha, sometimes we act contrary to the Dharma. If you feel remorse for having done wrong, frequently correct your behavior. Our thoughts shape us. If our thoughts are unwholesome, our actions bring suffering, much like a wheel rolling after the footsteps of an ox. Always think of goodness so that our deeds become wholesome karma and that happiness shall always remain with us. If challenges arise, we seek your guidance, Lord. Once more, there are only three truly crucial things. Do we love sincerely? Do we live completely? Can we let go of everything? We exist precisely to search for the meaning of life. When we devote ourselves heart and mind, that is when we see life's true essence. Life and death converge and then disperse. All phenomena are impermanent, so do not cling. Life, death, sunset, sunrise, everything must be transcended. Today, I have witnessed how tiny drops gather to form the vast ocean. Three truths anyone can practice are a broad heart, kind words, and compassion in service. These three mottos build trust, promoting kindness and amity among beings. Regardless of poverty or wealth, life carries suffering. Only the forms of suffering differ. In married life, equality is paramount. If a family's husband and wife love and harmonize with each other, they generate a flourishing energy that brings happiness to everyone around. True marital union transcends physical desire and material things. A wife is a part of the husband, and the husband should honor his wife's dignity, never causing her embarrassment. The wife should not act against womanly principles, and the husband must fulfill his role, distancing himself from vice. In his decisions, the husband should consider the wife's wishes. Likewise, the wife should regard her family as her own, a haven of love, caring for every member. Let husband and wife honor each other as cherished guests, keeping company with good people. Those lacking mindfulness can render children indolent. When conditions for practice are met, one's inner state becomes pure and untainted. One's profession must conform to the Dharma as well, whether in business or everyday work. First, understand it clearly, then put in your best efforts, for instance, cooking or baking. Do not see it as trivial, but as an opportunity to care for yourself, your spouse, and your children. Whenever favorable conditions arise, do not live selfishly. Let your happiness, success, and possessions be shared. Avoid gambling and drinking. Be modest, courteous, and amiable. Whenever possible, make offerings to the monks or practice meditation to dispel worries and difficulties, and your spirit will experience supreme tranquility. Remember, each morning, upon opening your eyes to a new day's sunlight, be mindful of what you aim to do. This is of utmost importance. People often forget to be thankful. Keep in mind those to whom you are indebted, like the trees, flowers, wind, water, and air, which are not ours. Be grateful for all. Gratitude allows us to reap ever more. If all were meaningless, we would grow ill, and if ill, we might not be far from death. Gratitude is like a gorgeous flower adorning the world. We are born on this earth, in a realm of endless rebirth filled with sorrow. The world is not a repository of suffering, but a place for the awakened to dwell. Yet to awaken, we must remain alert, for ignorance spawns suffering, sorrow, deluded thoughts, anger, greed, arrogance, self-conceit, and jealousy. Illusion misleads humans down dark paths. Even though life and death do not truly differ, we mistakenly see them as obstacles. Once they are removed, our whole life stands free, independent, and unfettered. Precepts, concentration, and wisdom, plus the 8 right paths, sweep away all flawed perceptions. I repeat, they are right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Whatever knowledge we gain, whether from reading, listening to elders, or even from my words, do not immediately believe it. Use your learning and wisdom to examine, dissect, and confirm. Within impermanence, find what is eternal. In sorrow, find joy. In cruelty, sense humanity. In the ugly, find the beautiful. Ignorance obscures human sight. Once the veil of illusion is lifted, all suffering and worry vanish, and compassion and forgiveness awaken. The emotions of all sentient beings are alike. If we are not enlightened, we cannot know the marvel of enlightenment. But if we yearn for enlightenment, we will become Buddhas. Dear monks, light your own lamp. Let that lamp be the light that guides you. Be ever aware, practice the true Dharma. Focus on your inner self, turn inward, and do not rely on others because all is supreme. Remain calm amid all changes, be ever diligent, and never relinquish your efforts. The The supreme truth is not in empty space, but in each person's mind. Toward your children, be loving and protective. Toward elders, be loving and caring. We must empathize with those who strive hard. To the weak, even if they err, we should behave generously. These chances are found all around us in life. Blessed Buddha, sometimes we act contrary to the Dharma. If I feel remorse for doing wrong, I will continually correct my behavior. Our thoughts create who we are. If they are unwholesome, suffering follows, like a wheel trailing an ox's steps. Always think of goodness, so that your actions become wholesome deeds, ensuring happiness stays by your side. Should difficulties arise, please guide us, Lord. In summary, there are only 3 pivotal things. Do we truly love? Do we truly live? And can we let go of everything? We live to seek life's purpose. When we devote ourselves heart and mind, we simultaneously see the essence of life. Life and death come together like a shadow and its form, then disperse. All phenomena are impermanent, so do not cling. Life, death, sunset, sunrise, we must transcend them all. Today I have witnessed how small drops form a mighty ocean. 3 truths that anyone can cultivate are a broad mind, gentle speech, and employing compassion in service. These 3 maxims establish trust, filling beings with kindness and goodwill. Whether one is poor or rich, suffering exists in all lives, differing only in form. In married life, equality is essential. When husband and wife love and harmonize, they radiate prosperity and cheer, bringing happiness to those around them. A true marital bond surpasses physical and material yearning. The wife is part of the husband, and the husband should give his wife respect and honor, never belittling her in front of others. The wife should not contradict proper conduct for a woman, and the husband must uphold his duties, avoiding vices. In his decisions, he must consider his wife's feelings. The wife, in turn, should treat the family as her own, a haven of love, looking after every member. Let them respect each other like honored guests, befriending decent people, because those who do not practice mindfulness can foster laziness in children. When conditions suitable for practice appear, the mind becomes pure, unsullied. One's career, too, must align with the Dharma. Whether in trade or daily tasks, first understand it thoroughly, then devote yourself. For instance, cooking or baking should not be seen as trivial, but as a chance to care for yourself, your spouse, and your children. When encountering good conditions in life, do not live selfishly. Share your blessings, your accomplishments, and your wealth. Steer clear of gambling and drunkenness. As humans, we should be humble, polite, and friendly. If circumstances allow, make offerings to the monks or engage in meditation to dispel worries and difficulties, and let your spirit savor supreme tranquility. Always remember, each morning, when opening your eyes to the dawn of a new day, be aware of the purpose of your life. This is vitally important. People often forget gratitude. Keep in your heart those to whom you owe thanks, like the trees, flowers, wind, water, air, which are not our possessions. Be grateful for all. Gratitude will bring you many good things. If everything were meaningless, we would become ill, and if ill, death would not be far. Gratitude is like a stunning flower blooming in life. We come into this world where sensations of suffering abound, an endless cycle of sorrow. The world is not a resting place for suffering, but a home for the awakened. Yet one must awaken because ignorance breeds suffering, sorrow, delusions, anger, greed, pride, conceit, and envy. Illusion pushes us down dark roads. Though life and death differ only in name, we often misperceive them, creating barriers. Once all barriers are removed, life is fully independent, needing no support, with no entanglements. Precepts, concentration, and wisdom, and the Noble Eightfold Path can dissolve all false views. Again, right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Do not hastily believe any knowledge, whether gleaned from reading, hearing the elder's instruction, or even my own words. Use your learning and discernment to observe, dissect, and confirm. In that which perishes, discover the imperishable. In sadness, glimpse joy. In cruelty, find compassion. In the base, find what is noble. Ignorance veils human eyes. Remove that veil of illusion, and all pain and worry dissipate, bringing forth loving kindness and forgiveness, which begin to awaken. The emotions of sentient beings are alike. One who is not enlightened cannot see how wondrous enlightenment is. Yet if we long for it, we will become Buddhas. Dear monks, light your own lamp. Let that lamp be the guiding radiance. Remain mindful, practice the true dharma, focus on your inner being, return to yourself. Do not depend on anyone else, for all is supreme. Stand firm in the face of life's changes, keep striving, and never abandon your efforts. For the supreme truth is not in empty space, but within your own mind.